On August 2, 1945, Czechoslovak President Edvard Beneš issued Decree number 33, which stripped non-Slavic populations, specifically Hungarians and Germans, of their citizenship. The Kossuth government program, announced in April 1945, had already foreshadowed the Beneš decrees, as its eighth point declared the Hungarian and German populations collectively guilty of war crimes. The discriminatory decrees enacted after May 14th primarily targeted Germans, who were soon expelled beyond the new German border, but Beneš did not spare the Hungarian population either. The first step toward assimilation was the collective deprivation of rights for non-Slavic minorities. Beneš and Czechoslovak politicians hoped that harsh conditions would drive out a significant portion of these minorities, while those who remained faced deportation and forced assimilation. Of the 143 decrees issued between May and October 1945, 13 directly and 20 indirectly targeted non-Slavic minorities. The Beneš decrees began scrutinizing Hungarian and German property as early as May 19th, followed by decisions in June to confiscate agricultural assets. After July 20th, the Prague government resolved to colonize Hungarian areas by resettling Slovaks and Czechs. Meanwhile, Czechoslovak authorities dismissed Hungarian public servants, expelled Hungarian students from universities, and abolished Hungarian educational institutions. Across the country, Hungarian trials were initiated, convicting thousands based on the principle of collective guilt. In Kossuth, for instance, a single trial found 600 people guilty. The properties of Hungarians and Germans were seized without compensation and often handed over to Czech or Slovak settlers. In 1946-1947, approximately 44,000 Hungarians were deported in unheated cattle cars to the Sudetenland in Bohemia for forced labor, where they were distributed to local farmers at human markets as modern slavery. These measures were inhumane responses, and its goal was of creating an only Slavic Czechoslovak nation-state. The deprivation was partially alleviated in 1948, when Hungarians could regain citizenship after swearing a loyalty oath, but property restitution and full rehabilitation were not achieved.
Ötvenhatban voltak a szüleim otthon, a nénémet meglátogatni. Édesanyám hozott egy kis zacskóba földet. Azt mondta, hogy tegyétek a
sírjára tegyük.
Tegyétek a szememre, hogy az otthoni főt takarja a szememet.
But the Czechs and Slovaks not only engaged in the deprivation of rights, but also committed ethnic cleansing against the Hungarian and German minorities in Czechoslovakia after World War II. The Bratislava Ligetfalu massacre refers to a series of mass killings committed in peacetime after the war already, during the summer of 1945 in Petržalka, formerly Ligetfalu, a district of Bratislava, Slovakia, by the Czechoslovak army. The victims were primarily Hungarian and German civilians, including women, children, and the elderly, targeted on ethnic grounds under the pretext of the Beneš decrees. The aim was to eliminate the Hungarian and German minorities to create an only Slavic Czechoslovak nation-state. The massacre on June 1945 involved the killing of 1,500 Hungarians and Germans. Entire families, including infants and the elderly, were among the victims. Some reports indicate infants were shot while being held in the air.
Azokat a nőket, akik csecsemőiket, kisgyermekeiket tartották a karjukban, gyermekeikkel együtt lőtték agyon. Ha a katona nem talált, és a gyermek leesett és ott csúszkált a holttesteken, akkor jött pazúr, világított magának, és saját revolverrel lőtte le a még életben lévő gyermekeket. Szörnyűnek kellett lennie az egésznek.
Utána a bíróság elé állították, és azt kérdezte tőle az ügyész, hogy az a Pazur úr, miért kellett a gyerekeket is agyonlőni? Tehát szórakoztak velük megint csak úgy, hogy felemelték a kezükre a csecsemőket, a tenyerükre, és akkor úgy lőtték őket főbe. És a Pazur válasza az volt, hogy mit csinálhattunk, vagy mihez kezdtünk volna velük, amikor már a szüleiket belőttük a gödörbe.
The Czechoslovak soldiers carried out executions in the fortification system's moats and bunkers, often robbing victims of jewelry and valuables. Insufficient knowledge of the Slovak language was enough justification for execution. The massacres were legitimized and motivated by the inflammatory speeches of Czechoslovak President Edvard Beneš and the Beneš decrees, in particular Decree 33. The effects of the decrees are still felt today and strain Slovak-Hungarian relations, as neither the Czech Republic nor Slovakia has repealed them, and in 2007 the Slovak Parliament reaffirmed their untouchability. The decrees are incompatible with human rights and the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights, yet they remain part of the Czech and Slovak legal systems.